All right, folks, you are watching NFL Daily presented by BetDSI, Internet's #1 sportsbook. Let's finish up my latest mock draft with picks 21 all the way down to the teams without a first-round pick. Cowboys, Saints, and Bears, I got you guys covered. At 21, Jawaan Taylor of the Florida Gators to the Seattle Seahawks. Now, there's been some recent Taylor is offensive tackle #1, which I don't agree with. I think it's still Jonah Williams. Several other guys also make sense as an early round 1 or mid-round 1 pick for Seattle. They could look defense too, but go upgrade Jermaine Ifedi. He's not the answer, okay? He's not getting the job done. Taylor has some good traits there. Might check in more like 6'4". We'll use the program weights for now, which as we know are never to be trusted. But I like the fit there overall of Taylor checking in 21 to the Seattle Seahawks. Number 22, my receiver #1, that's DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss. The numbers aren't great from a pure statistical perspective, but remember, he had the neck injury this year that limited him. He is now cleared to go. Well, I assume he'll check out medically at the Combine too. If not, that's going to be a big concern there. But he checks the size-speed combo box. Not every receiver does, and N'Keal Harry has great size. Hakeem Butler have great size. I don't think they're going to run as well as DK Metcalf will. The Ravens could once again revamp their wide receiver core this season. Maybe give Lamar Jackson a bigger body target who's also pretty fast as well. So Metcalf's my #1 guy. But do you guys agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section if you think DK Metcalf is wide receiver #1. I think there are a lot of guys that are going to go around this 20-22 range all the way down to early round 2. Multiple receivers are going to fit that role for me, so shout out your favorite prospect in the comments, and I'll be sure to respond. Number 23, Andre Dillard of the Washington State Cougars. Now, Dillard kind of rose as of late. I don't think he's on the same level as Jonah Williams, but I get people that do. And maybe a Colton Miller type guy there in the end for Dillard, but Houston, we know this, they need offensive line help. Just take the best one on the board for them. Number 24 to the Oakland Raiders. This pick, of course, via the Chicago Bears. Let's get them a linebacker. They need one of those, right? Mack Wilson off the board. Oakland is still searching, and searching for quite some time, for an impact linebacker. And Mack Wilson can be a 3-down backer, I think, in the NFL. I think he was for Alabama. I think that translates to the NFL as well. I think a day 1 starter at that middle linebacker spot. You can build your linebacker core around Mack Wilson. No more relying on 5th or 4th or 6th round picks, whatever, to try and be key starters. You have 3 first-round picks. Go get a stud in Mack Wilson. Number 25, I've got Christian Wilkins of Clemson to Philadelphia. I like Wilkins a lot. I think his teammates adore him. I think he's going to be a good leader for an NFL team. Obviously down the road a little bit there. Eagles could use some more defensive line help. I don't think you'll see Timmy Jernigan back next year. If I'm right, Wilkins, a good fit there. They could also look at some receiver help, even some cornerback help, and maybe they target a replacement for Jason Peters as well. Now we'll get to the rest of my mock draft, but I want to remind you today's show was brought to you by BetDSI, the Internet's #1 sportsbook. So head over to chatsports.com/bet, sign up and deposit using promo code LIVE120, and they'll give you a 120% deposit bonus. So you put down $50, and BetDSI will give you $64 free. Put down $100, and they'll give you $120. So if you get some bets wrong on the NBA, college basketball, you're going to have plenty of extra money still to bet with. And if you use Bitcoin, that bonus gets even bigger. It becomes a 150% deposit bonus. So you put down $100, you get 30 extra more if you use Bitcoin. You guys are not going to find a better deal than that one. So DM us on Twitter at ChatSports if you need some help. We'll walk you through how to get set up and hooked up with Bitcoin and BetDSI. Number 26, the Indianapolis Colts. I think defensive line makes sense for them. But let's get some more receivers in this mock draft. How about Kelvin Harmon, who I think would be a perfect running mate and #2 receiver alongside T.Y. Hilton. A little bit bigger than T.Y., also has some good size-speed combo. I think he sneaks into round 1. I like N'Keal Harry a lot. I think the NFL is going to be a little bit higher on Harmon, though, than Harry, who is also a very possible round 1 pick at worst, early round 2, I think. Put up great production for NC State. Frankly, I think he made Ryan Finley look a lot better than he actually is. How about back-to-back wide receivers here? Number 27, Marquise Brown to the Oakland Raiders. This dude can fly, and he checks out. His nickname's Hollywood Brown. That makes sense. Brings the speed NFL teams covet. Size is the big concern. He's listed at 5'10", 160. Maybe he's a bit bigger. He'll probably bulk up in the offseason in the pre-draft process, but he's fast. Get him the ball in space on deep routes, screens, slants, whatever it is, and he will make plays for you. The dude is an absolute speedster. Oakland could use some more speed at wide receiver. Can play slot and some outside work for an NFL team. Let's go back-to-back Oklahoma players here. We have not mentioned Kyler Murray. I am officially kind of concerned about the way Kyler Murray has handled this baseball or football decision. Now, he is going to be a divisive prospect. On the field, there's a lot to like. A pretty strong arm, very accurate. Reminds me of, I don't know, Doug Flutie, Deshaun Watson merged at times. Like, there's really no good comp for Kyler Murray because he is so small, listed at 5'10", 195. My concern here is maybe you guys saw the interview with Kyler Murray where he just has no idea what he's thinking even about football or baseball. Hasn't committed to the combine yet. If he doesn't go to the combine, I think that's going to tank his draft stock because that screams to me he's using football as leverage. And if Kyler Murray isn't committed to football, teams are not going to draft him. Now, I like Kyler Murray. I think kind of like Lamar Jackson in the end, he might go later than I would prefer to take him based on quarterbacks. So where will Kyler Murray be drafted? If he commits to football right now and focuses on the combine and all that stuff, I could see him going top 15. But if he waffles or makes a later commitment or even just commits anyway, maybe he slides a little bit more to a team like the Chargers or a team that trades up to get a franchise quarterback. Because for LA at least, they got no one behind Phillip Rivers. At some point, they got to draft the franchise guy. Who knows how much longer Phil really has in his NFL career. Number 29, DeAndre Baker of Georgia to the Chiefs. I think he's a zone corner. I don't think he's going to measure out all that well testing-wise. Not going to be all that fast, but he is at least a late first-round pick in my eyes. He'll be a good player in the NFL. Just put him in the right scheme. Don't ask him to run with like a Marquise Brown every play. Otherwise, it's not going to end well. Number 30, Nasir Adderley out of Delaware. One of my favorite small school prospects. A rare single-high free safety. Look, he's not a nickel guy. That's not who he is. He's not that nickel safety hybrid type that teams like more and more. But he's a small school prospect who shows great range. That's a big deal for Nasir Adderley because range cannot be overlooked because, oh, it's just a small school guy there. That's not what happens. Good ball skills, too. I like Nasir Adderley. Green Bay, you guys need a safety, a true single high guy. I guess Clinton Dix didn't really work out for you. Adderley could be that guy. Number 31, the LA Rams, Greg Little out of Ole Miss. I like Little's upside. I don't like necessarily the player he is right now. He needs some more work, needs some more polish. That could push him down. Or he vaults back up because he wows at the combine. Either way, I think he goes round 1. Maybe Andrew Whitworth decides to retire. If not, maybe the Rams focus on defense instead. Then our last first-round pick, Noah Fant out of Iowa to the Patriots. I could see Noah Fant going like 15 picks higher fairly easily, but I think for Patriots, Gronk's career might be over. Noah Fant fits more of the Aaron Hernandez type style tight end in terms of on-the-field stuff. Both Iowa tight ends could be a top 20 pick as far as I am concerned. Patriots, they do weird stuff in the draft. It's fine. It works out for them. I never really see it coming. They always have a couple of questionable picks each and every single year that don't pan out, but they make up for it by having volume. I like Noah Fant, and knowing the Patriots, they'll probably end up trading down out of the first round and moving that number 32 overall pick to get multiple day 2, day 3 selections. Now, speaking of trades, do you guys want trades in a future mock draft? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section. If enough of you guys say yes, at some point, we will do a trade-heavy NFL mock draft for you. Now, as I always do, I'm wearing a Mizzen and Main shirt. They make me look passable enough at the producers and boss men put me on air. Crazy, right? So go check out Mizzen and Main, comfortable.af. Imagine what they could do for you if they're able to get me on air. Finish up our mock draft here with the 3 teams that don't have a first-round pick. Andy Isabella, number 58 overall to the Dallas Cowboys. I love Isabella. He is not your prototypical slow slot receiver. This dude can fly. He could very well run in the low 4.4s or even lower than that. Undersized, yes. but super fast as a slot receiver. The Cowboys could lose Cole Beasley. For smaller school guys, which I consider UMass these days, production against the best competition matters a little bit more for me. Against Georgia, Andy Isabella had 15 catches for 219 yards and 2 TDs. He's good, guys. He is a good receiver. He'd be a great fit, I think, with Dak Prescott. Number 64 to the Saints, Renell Wren, the Arizona State defensive tackle. I like him quite a bit. He could go higher than this even. With Sheldon Rankins banged up, and when you guys are a free agent, the Saints could look for some more defensive line help. If healthy, Rankins, it's a really good 1-2 punch there. And then finally, the Chicago Bears. Maybe you look for a nickel corner. You re-signed Bobby Massey, so take out tackle was a big need there. How about David Long? More of a lanky corner, or undersized corner who I think would be good in the slot. Look, it's round 3. I'm taking a shot in the dark there. No one ever gets like round 3, round 4, round 5 picks right. I'm just on a name I think could make sense around that range for a team like the Bears. Let's recap then 21 to the rest of my mock draft. Jawaan Taylor, DK Metcalf, Andre Dillard, Mack Wilson, and Christian Wilkins. Your first 5 picks there, 21 through 25. Kelvin Harmon, Marquise Brown, Kyler Murray, who needs to commit one way or the other if he wants to go early in round 1. DeAndre Baker, Nasir Adderley, and then Greg Little and Noah Fant round out round 1. And then 58, 64, and 80, Andy Isabella, Renell Wren, and David Long. That is our latest NFL mock draft, folks. DM me, tweet me, at What's Going Down with any NFL draft coverage, questions, and I'll be sure to answer them for you.